these two players go at it, and I believe we're straight into the game. No hanging about this time, and we're going to see what they have to play with. So PLALC is going to have possession of the ball as he moves forward down the wing, plays it to Vidal. Some nice passing there. And Benzema is going to be trying to chase that one down as he does find the ball. Does once again go to Benzema. Some ball rolls in the middle, finds Alaba, tries to play Ronaldo, doesn't work out, and it looks like Timox is going to move that ball once again forward, and he does have Messi playing that over to Ronaldo, so we're going to see those two on the wing. I believe, is that Cliver up front? Not too sure about that. We'll have to find out when the ball does play to him. But PLALC again taking away the ball as he pushes forward with his players. Vieira in the midfield does get hold of that one, tries to find an open Benzema. Can he get the shot away? He does, in the near post. It's the top upright. And I believe, in fact, that was offside in the end. So great energetic start to this game.
I noticed right away, PLALC is opening up with a lot of skill moves, which is something we didn't see in the previous game today. So I'm kind of liking that. I'm a huge fan of skill moves.
I know you are.
Yes, and he was using them effectively as well. He was using the ball roll a lot, which is one of the best skill moves in the game. It's very basic, very simple, but it's a great way to keep your momentum as you sprint forward. And as soon as there's a defender in the way, you roll the ball to the side and you just keep running. And I think he's going to probably use that a lot more in this game. Huge opportunity early on as well, but obviously it was offside.
So Timox is actually rocking a 4-2-3-1 right now, and he's got Muller on the left wing. He's got Messi on the right. He's playing Cliver at the attacking midfield position, and he's playing Ronaldo up top. Now, how are you thinking about that? How do you feel about that one?
Obviously, he's got great players. I think that the reason why he made that change is because that's what he's comfortable with. So I'm sure there's some strategy behind his choice. We'll see how it plays out.
So 12 minutes in, not too much to talk about apart from that one offside decision that was very close to going in. PLALC is going to move this ball across the back line, just get control of the ball and the game. And I spoke to Bateson in the last game very much about, you know, controlling the flow of the game. It really does put you in a great position, not only with possession of the ball, but where your team sits on the pitch and how they'll play it out. Do you think it's a really important situation for these two guys to kind of get a hold of the game by controlling the middle of the pitch?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Whoever controls the middle controls the game. And you mentioned formation. Like you said, it's very important to keep your players in their position. You don't want your players to be off not doing their job. You want to keep every player where they need to be so that you can keep passing the ball around. You know where all your teammates are. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. Obviously, possession is important, but ultimately, that's not what's going to get you the win. Goals are going to get you the win. So if you're a really strong counter-attacker, it doesn't matter what your possession stat is.
Well, that's what we saw in the last game. Jack managed to make two really quick goals out of nothing, really. He didn't have a lot of possession through the two legs, but managed to capitalize on the few opportunities that he did have, and that's all it can really take to get yourself in the lead in these games of FIFA. So looks like Timox is going to move this ball down the wing. Clivert picks it up. He hasn't got a lot of support here, but finally does find Marcelo, who plays to the Modric. Vidal finds it to Ronaldo. Ronaldo tries to dummy his way into the box. It doesn't work out, though.
We saw right there, he attempted to do a first-time fake shot, which in FIFA 15 was a very powerful move, but they changed it in FIFA 16 to make it a little bit more like what you would see in real life. It's very difficult to do a first-time fake shot and keep control of the ball. So as we saw when Ronaldo just attempted it, the ball bounced way farther than it would have last year. So it's a strategy that people are going to try to use because when it works, it's super effective. But it's a little bit more risky this time. So you sometimes end up just kicking the ball too far and the defender gets the ball.
I'm terrible with fake shots. I end up not holding the ball long enough and my guy just punts it into Herozia in the stadium. So definitely something I need to work on. But these guys, obviously being pro players, they know exactly what they're doing. As PLALC has got the ball into the opponent's box, it is going to be taken away. Cliver actually coming all the way back there to defend. As he plays that ball forward, it does go out to the wing. Ronaldo chasing that one down, and it looks like Alaba's going to see that one out, and it is going to be a throw on. So Ronaldo actually going to take the throw on, looking for an option. He does find his teammate, and once again Ronaldo on the ball, plays the ball across the floor. I believe that was that driven pass you were talking about.
It is, and he picked up a free kick in a very good position, so let's see what happens here. I assume he's going to want to move his goalkeeper. Yeah, he moved his goalkeeper to the center of the goal. And he's going to do a fake. Maybe there's a pass coming up. We'll see what he does here. Messi, he passes it.
Plays it off to Ronaldo. No, Pulse gets that one down. It is going to be a free kick going towards Pulse. So well defended from him. And there is a lot of things you can do with free kicks this year on FIFA 16.
Yeah, you have a lot of options. I think what he attempted was, the idea was good, and I'm sure it has worked for him in the past. What I would do from that position is I would do a fake shot and then immediately pass it to the guy who faked it. It's one of the best strategies from that distance. What he tried to do was he did a fake, passed it to one guy who passed it backwards to a fourth guy. Obviously, the defender was there to block the shot, but if the defender had been a little bit slower, he would have had a huge opportunity right there. He was setting up the shot, but unfortunately for him, it did not work.
Yeah, it was a little bit slow there and kind of gave the game away as to what he might be doing. But we'll see how he learns from that mistake. So 0-0 so far. I think based on what we saw about how these two players qualified, we're expecting Timox maybe to walk this one and get a goal by now, but it's being well held by Pulse. He's not exactly out of it, having some good possession so far in the game. But Timox doing a good job of getting it back equally. He does spill the ball there, and Alaba is in possession as he finds it to Pogba. Vieira lays it off to Vidal. Vidal finds it back to Vieira.
Great opportunity.
He's one-on-one and plays it across the face of goal. Doesn't end up being anything there. And Timox lives to fight another day there. Pogba commanding that midfield, takes it off him. Ronaldo trying to make something, but it is pinged all the way back to Pulse's defense as he looks to hit him on the attack once more.
Nice dummy there.
Now, Timox really under pressure right now. Really a lot of pressure being put on by Pulse once it does hit that back line. It is really, really crucial that you don't give anyone the time of day to be able to think about what their next move is. You can put them under pressure. They might not think about their decision too clearly, rush to the pass, and end up giving it away. And that's something that we saw that Notorious really capitalized on against Jack in the previous game. So we'll see if the pros are going to learn from that one and see how they do it themselves. Modric on the ball right now, trying to whisk his way through the defense. He is taken down, but no free kick given from the referee. The Pulse is just going to play that one on. And Abate does have possession. Maybe looking, wants to run down the line, but teammate not going to opt for it. Ronaldo does get hold of the ball. Nice scoop turn inside. Berber spin once more for the second skill move. The ball has spilled over to Vieira. Ronaldo gets it fake shot. Unfortunately, too much pepper on that one, and it ends up in Pulse's favour right now. Yeah. And it's 0-0 in this first half of the first leg.
Right at the end there, you saw another example of the first-time fake shot. He attempted it. Ronaldo kicked the ball too far, and he was not able to take the shot. But the idea was very good. Let's see if they're making any changes here at halftime. They are making some changes.
So he's bringing on Douglas Costa there?
I believe so, yeah. On the left, who is actually one of my favorite players in the game. He is very, very effective, and he's got 5-star skill moves. He's very quick, so I quite like him.
Yep. How much is he worth now on the market? It's about 10 to 20,000 coins, I think.
I think, yeah, that's right.
He's worth a lot at the start of the game. He's gone down a bit in price, but his quality still remains. So we head into the second half now. As far as this goes for you, what is it that these two need to do? They both had good chances at either end, and they both have been in a stalemate. What do you think it is that these two need to do to separate themselves?
Well, I think it seems to me like both guys have a strategy that's working for them. Both have been close. I think what I would suggest is perhaps not relying on that first-time fake shot as much. Because it seems... Oh, here we go. Opportunity here. Oh, he passed it. Oh, it's a goal! It's 1-0.
1-0 to Timox. Great little passing play there. Finds the open space for Kluivert. He doesn't go for the shot. He's not greedy. Plays it to Vidal, and Vidal at the back post slots it home. 1-0 to Timox. And just as we were saying what it is that these two need to do, and you were saying that their game plan is working for them so far. They don't really need to change too much. It looks like that has paid off for Timox.
Yes, that's a big goal. To be in the lead allows you to relax a little bit. Here again. Costa. Oh, man.
Oh, it's the post. Great save there from the keeper. These guys just don't want us to have any time to talk about what it is we want to talk about.
A lot of action in this second half. Let's see here. Ronaldo now with the fake shot again. And once more, it's ineffective.
So Pulse now obviously behind. Do you think he needs to change something up? I mean, he's still got 3 halves of FIFA to play. Do you think it's time to think about... Is it time to think about what you might want to do going forward, but not necessarily do something about it?
Oh, you should definitely think about it. You should have a plan B, plan C, plan D. But I think what he's doing is working. he's using a lot more skill moves, and I think that if he just keeps trying, he's gonna get one moment where the skill move works, and that's gonna open up a lot of space for him, and he's gonna get a big opportunity from it. Let's see, maybe he gets it right here.
Here comes Pulse on the attack. Lovely ball roll, goes on the outside, down the wing, plays it inside. Ronaldo on possession of the ball, fires it to Vieira. Vieira goes for the shot, blocked, and it's going to be a corner.
You saw it right there. He was sprinting down the wing. One little basic skill move, a ball roll, was all it took to find that space, and was able to get a huge opportunity.
Ball has fallen to Douglas Costa. It's going to be tackled by Timox, and Messi does have hold of it. Finds Ronaldo with the ball. First time pass to Kluivert, who's waiting for the overlap. And that man on the left wing, it is Douglas Costa. Obviously coming on for Thomas Muller at half-time. Goes for the Berber spin inside. Nope, it's going to be read like a book from Pulse as he moves forward. Quick driven pass, but once again doesn't have complete control of it. Fortunately for him, he does get the second ball. And he's going to try and move that a little bit slower this time. See if he can get himself a good position. Goes for the ball roll around the second defender. Does get the seconds, however, again, it is going to be spilled away, and Marcelo's going to see that one out. Lovely little play from him. Just to get that ball out without panicking too much, not booting the ball away and giving away possession in a dangerous area. And Douglas Costa moving forward, just holding off that defender. It has been played to Kluivert. Kluivert obviously getting tight. Goes for the overlap with Douglas Costa. Is it offside? Plays it cross goal.
Oh, it's offside.
Offside.
Oh, man.
Similar goal to what we saw before, but offside from Douglas Costa. He wanted to get that ball away a little bit quicker, but unfortunately didn't. Now Timox is really coming into his own in this game.
It was a great piece of play. The way he used the skilled dribbling, as it's called, to sprint in one direction, quickly stop, waited for the defender to go past him, and then he just passed the ball right through. It was an excellent tool to open up.
Here comes Ronaldo, capitalizing on a mistake. Can he put this away? Cuts back inside. Can he find someone with the ball? Fake shot twice. Goes for the finesse, hits the post. The ball's still on. Vidal tried desperately to get hold of that and keep this momentum going for his team. Quick passes. Once again, it does fall over. Here comes Messi. Messi puts it over the bar. Great play from Timox, really putting the pressure on. You can see he's really kind of relaxed himself. I was saying to Bateson earlier that first few moments, that first game even, can really kind of unnerve you, and he's got that goal in his locker, and now he's really calm and collected.
It's a good ball.
Here comes the cross, and it's in!
It's a goal!
Ronaldo with a toe poke at the near post, 2-0 to Timox. He's really coming into his own now and looking like the kind of player that we expected him to be.
Excellent pass and a great finish from Ronaldo there.
Really capitalising, and it looks like Timox really can make the difference in any sort of possession of the ball at any point in the game, as Pulse looks to try and bring himself back into this. Obviously, he has got a second game to come back into this. 2-0 right now, and it's definitely available for him if he wants it. I mean, he had some good chances in that first half. Just really needs to get himself settled again, not go on tilt. He's got plenty of time to work with to bring us back. 2 goals could quickly go in his favour.
Yeah, he needs to think about the big picture here. Obviously, there are 2 legs, so it's not lost yet.
Pulse playing this forward. Ronaldo on the ball, tries the ball roll forward. The strength goes in his favour. Unfortunately, Ramos just takes that away from him, plays it out to his winger, and this is some lovely football here from Timox. Kluivert looks for the ball to Ronaldo, doesn't make it there. I think he might have a substitute, and he might want to think about taking Kluivert off, just to give him a little bit more pace up front and a bit more energy. Although we're coming into the end of this first leg. And in fact, we're going to see a substitution, and Kluivert is in fact going to come off.
You called it.
I might as well go down there and coach him, because it looks like he's listening to me. Aubameyang is going to come on. That's going to be an incredible pair of legs. Messi also quite tired on that wing. See what happens here. It's a corner to Pulse. If he could get a goal here, he's really much back into this game. It does go off for another corner. Now, I'm quite shocking at trying to score corners. Have you got any tactics or tips?
Before we forget as well, he just made a change, but so did his opponent. Cuadrado just came on for Bale, I think. So let's see how that affects things as well. Cuadrado with the 5-star skill moves. What was your question?
Any tips for corners? Because I'm shocking at them.
Well, a lot of people like to play it short and then figure something out from there. So people tend to immediately start it off with the player right there by the corner flag, give him the ball, and then sometimes you just cross it in or try to pass the ball around and look for some space. simply crossing it in and hoping to win the header, it's a 50-50. So
the keepers are really good at coming out and claiming the ball. Which
yeah,
is
you know
why
what?
I'm
In fact, it's not even a 50-50. Oh,
Ronaldo
big opportunity
through
here.
goal.
Oh, it's a huge save. And now we get a corner right here, so let's see what he does. Yeah, like I said, he plays it short, and he's going to look to dribble that first guy and then set up maybe a cross or a pass in towards the box. But very few people, at least at this level, cross it in immediately. Because like you said, the goalkeeper is going to be there. If the goalkeeper's not there, it's a 50-50 between the attacker and the defender. So it's really not a high percentage. It's not a great strategy if you want to get a goal.
I'll definitely take that into note when I play Spencer at some point. I'm going to have that rematch, and I'm going to beat him this time. He embarrassed me last year, and I wasn't happy about it. But there you go, first leg over, and it's a 2-0 advantage going into the second one for Timox. Now, as far as this game goes, what did you think about it? I mean, who looked, well, I think it's obvious who the better player was, but do you think it was as one-sided as it looked?
I thought the first half was very even, but based on the finals, in the second half, it was obvious that Timox is the better player, and it just took him a little bit of time to get started. This is the first game of the day, so you got to get used to the room you're in, the lights, everything like that. But it seems like he's more comfortable now, and so he was able to obviously get 2 goals in the second half, and he scored in 2 different ways as well. The first goal was a nice piece of passing straight down the middle, and then the second goal was a completely different strategy. It was he attacked down the left wing, I believe, crossed it in, and volleyed into the back of the net. So he's obviously showing us that he has many skills. He's got many tools available to him, and he's definitely a good contender to win the whole thing.
And Pulse, how do you feel about what is it he needs to change going in this? You're 2 goals down. You've got you've got a game of FIFA to kind of bring it back. And if you want to win it, obviously you need 3 goals. If you want to take it to an extra time or penalty, you've got to get 2 goals. What is it he needs to do? He had a good first half.
Yep.
He really put the pressure on, had some good skill moves, and almost found his way in. What is it he needs to do in this one?
Well, I think he seems to be is a good dribbler, but he needs to mix it up a little bit more. Because if all you do is dribble, I'm not saying I'm not saying he only dribbled, but he did it a little bit too much, I thought.
Yeah.
I think he needs to pass the ball around a little bit more first, and then you dribble, because you don't want your opponent to be able to predict what you're going to do. So I think he needs to mix it up a little bit more. Obviously, he started conceding in the second half. That could be because of player fatigue, that his players might have started to get tired because he's sprinting a lot, he's dribbling. So maybe he needs to make 3 subs at halftime just to get some fresh legs on the pitch. But I think he did a good job. I would suggest that he needs to be a little bit farther up the pitch before he starts doing the more advanced skill moves.
Yeah.
What I find is that the closer you are to your opponent's goal, the more desperate they are to get the ball from you, and they're more worried about conceding. So the closer you are, the more likely things like fake shots are to work. Because if you fake it, they think you're actually shooting because you're in shooting position. So they're going to try to block it, but you're not shooting, you're faking it.
Yeah.
So when they go for the block, you go past them, and all of a sudden you have an even bigger opportunity, and then you can do the same thing again.
Yeah.
Because the closer you get, they're going to be like, oh man, he's right there, I got to stop him. But if you do it in the midfield, they're not really too worried about it, because even if they get beat, there's still another line of players to defend. So I would further up the pitch, and then skill moves.
Well, you've got more options in the midfield, obviously, because your whole team's around you. There's people on the overlap. You can play these quick passes in and out and around. And at that point, it's just kind of getting yourself up the pitch rather than directing it towards the goal. So once you are up the pitch, if you're on a wing or something, you can start doing things like fake Rabonas, Berber, McGeady spins, and
but you need to be really good with your skill moves. And because if you pretend you're going to pass it to a player, well, you really could pass it if you wanted to. It would be a good opportunity. But you do a skill move instead, you got to be certain that your skill move is going to work, because otherwise you've just wasted a passing opportunity.
Give the ball away.
Exactly.
On the counter attack.
Yeah. So if you need to be confident and trust your own abilities. Yeah, let's take a look at this next game here coming up.
See this team, very strong squad actually. Quite a bit of a hybrid going on there. We got some BBVA, we got some Bundesliga, and some Serie A going on there.
And obviously,
I'm a big fan of that.
A legend right in the center, Vieira.
Linking it all together.
Yeah, I think if you're only going to have one legend in the team, placing him right in the center is a good strategy.
Especially someone like Vieira as well.
Especially
incredible tank, you know.
Yeah.
He's got the complete game. Maybe not the best of shooting, but you know, when I've used him, he bags all sorts of goals.
He's a great player, and what I find with all the legends, and particularly Vieira, is that you can't beat him in a header duel. So every goal kick,
he just wins it.
Exactly. If there's a legend in the center of the pitch, you win every goal kick.
So it's up to Pulse to bring this one back. He's 2-0 down in this game. First leg, obviously, going to be very much heavily in the favour of Timox. Let's see how he answers back. Here comes Cliver on the ball, playing at that attacking midfielder spot as he's pushed back to. Pulse does claim that one. Now, I just noticed in the second half especially, there were quite a few holes in Pulse's defence. I think he just, like you said, he tried some skill moves at the wrong positions and got caught out and maybe didn't pick the best of opportunities. And I think that's kind of how he led to at least the second goal, maybe not so much the first one. There was some very good passing going on.
Yeah, I think when you dribble, you have to be mindful of which player you're using, because if you just keep running up the pitch, dribbling people, if you lose it, if you were then you're in big trouble.
Oh,
that's just a goal! Oh man!
There you go. Just what we were saying, you know. Not too many skill moves, just kind of using that skill dribbling, playing the right passes. He did a 1-2, got it back, and Ronaldo, with such great shooting, does put it in the back of the net, and he's back in this tie. That's exactly what he wanted early on.
A great start.
Pulse, once again, he's looking for blood now. Really wants to bring this one back. Obviously, playing at home in this second leg. His fans might be giving him a little bit of a push into this next one, but here comes Cristiano Ronaldo offside in that occasion.
Obviously, there's no real home and away advantage because they're in the same booth. However,
metaphorical.
Exactly. But I will say this: playing left to right, for a lot of people, it's like a lot of people will tell you that it's easier to play left to right than right to left. I don't know why that is.
I find it right to left is easier for me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people's righty lefties. Some people are, not part of the general public.
Great ball there. Boateng just getting that one out, and Neuer picks that. Plays it out to the winger. Barté now playing the ball down to Gareth Bale. I'm a big fan of Pulse's team, actually. I quite like it. It's a very good hybrid team to fit so many different leagues into one squad. Vieira obviously linking that nicely in the middle of the field. And I don't tend to see the 4-3-2-1 used that often, actually, on Ultimate Team. I quite found it to be very potent on FIFA 12. But since then, I haven't used it too much. And it's quite nice to see a little bit of a change. I'm so used to seeing the 4-2-3-1 from a lot of the pro players.
Yes, yeah. It's I've not actually used that formation a lot myself. I tend to go with formations that have wingers.
Yeah.
Obviously with the 4, what was it, 4-3?
4-3-2-1 this is. So he's got a left and right forward. So they're kind of like wingers you would see in a traditional 4-3-3, but they play a bit more centered.
Yeah.
So Marcelo on this free kick. It's going to be played through to Ramos. Ramos just, waiting for those opportunities. I'm a fan of people who kind of slow things down, but it's not the best of passes.
Let's see, there's a ball roll.
Capitalised on it. 2 ball rolls, falls to Pogba. Pogba in the centre, goes for 2 ball rolls of himself. Benzema picks it up. No, well defended from Timox there.
He did exactly like I was thinking in my head what I would do in that situation. He did exactly the same thing. The ball roll to set up that last pass was the perfect option, but he was stopped.
Barté picks this one up. Pulse really doing a great job now. This is what happened in the last game. Great first half, but he fell off in the second one. Could have been fatigue, could have been a lack of concentration. Could be that he was just a bit nervous about what was happening. Obviously, no goals being scored. You don't really want to give that first goal up, but he's done well to get himself back into this tie. 2-1 sits at the aggregate score. 27 minutes gone in this first half. Pulse really in control of this one. He's got good control of the midfield. Vieira and his crew doing a great job at that. Here comes Timox. Once again, he hasn't got the best of options. He does find Ronaldo, though. He's got one player to beat if he can do it. No, great defending from Pulse. Keeps that one at bay, and here he comes. Pogba playing that forward to Gareth Bale, who plays it back to Pogba. Pogba looking for another option, just about squeeze that to Vidal. Vidal does not manage to get past that defender. Once again, Timox on the attack. So,
big ball here.
Things just settling down a little bit more. These guys kind of just slowing it down, feeling it out a little bit more. We're going to see a free kick come out for Boateng. So, what are these two guys thinking, do you reckon?
Well, I think Timox knows that he scored 2 in the second half in the first game.
Yeah.
He definitely seemed stronger in the second game or the second half of the first game than Pulse did. So it's going to be interesting to see if that same thing plays out here. Obviously, in the first game, Pulse was not 1 goal up at halftime, so that's going to change how he plays, and he might look to he might look to just keep it calm and defend just to make sure to not, lose his 1-goal lead in this game. But obviously, he still needs 1 goal to catch up with Timox. So he needs to move forward. But it's hard to say. I feel like what he's doing right now is working, but knowing what I know from the first game, I think Timox is going to get a goal in the second half.
Lovely ball there. Ronaldo trying some skill moves. He does find his way inside. Finesses into the bottom right-hand corner. There it is, Mr. Ronaldo. 1-1 in this second game. But overall, in the aggregate score, 3-1 to Timox, and that's really going to put Timox in a better position than he was previously. And now it's up to that man.
It was a beautiful execution of the skill moves right there. He started off with the ball roll to go to the left, and then he used a ball roll to the, went to the right with the ball roll, and then he did another ball roll to the left, but faked it right back with the ball roll fake, and Ronaldo was able to find the back of the net. So that was excellent from him, and I think that's the kind of thing we're going to see in the second half as well, using those skill moves in those dangerous situations. I talked about it earlier in the game, how the closer you are to goal, the more effective they are, and we saw an example of that right there.
Here we go. It's up to Pulse to really get something here. And this is a position where you can kind of find yourself going on tilt a little bit more, playing more aggressive than you actually need to. Because obviously he's got to get 2 goals back to take this to an extra time situation. With only about a half of FIFA to go, but Paul Pogba has managed to get that ball, goes for the step over, looking to cut back inside, and does so finally. And Timox does defend that well, and he's going to get away with it. Going into the half-time break very soon. 2 minutes of added time. That's going to be a foul, where Pulse has given that one away. So he's going to be having to go into the second half. 2 goals down once again, obviously with that early goal. And the ball has fallen loose. Does not make anything of it. Pulse very much would have regretted that had he given that one away, and it would have been a very hard uphill battle for him to come back from. So we see the stats there. It's actually quite very heavily in the favour of Timox there, but based on how the game was going for me, it looked like very much like Pulse had complete possession of that. Looks like Costa is going to come back on and make a second appearance in this series. So what is it that Pulse needs to do now? I mean, he is down 2 goals. He's got to go aggressive in this situation.
Yeah, he got to gamble right now. He has to go, up the pitch and try to get those goals. And if he concedes another one, it's not really hurting him too much. Obviously, conceding a goal is not good, but he's already down by 2, and there's not a whole lot of time left. So he really needs to get 2 goals himself to get back even. So he might look to change his attacking mentality a little bit.
Lovely nutmeg from Ronaldo, trying some skill moves now. He's throwing them all out on the table. But Pulse isn't going to be fooled by it, and he does manage to get that one away. Pulse in possession of the ball. Probably 1-2 there, just to give himself a bit more room. The ball does not find the winger, and Timox is going to go back on the counter-attack. It looks like Abate doing a great job of keeping Costa at bay, trying to push this one forward again. As you said, he does have to gamble. Is it time to think about a formation change? Definitely some substitutes need to come in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he needs to make some subs. Formation, I would change it, but that's just because I'm more comfortable with other formations. I don't know about him. Maybe this is his favorite, and he is very comfortable with this one. But I do think he needs to change on players, because he needs just fresh legs at this point is going to do him a lot of good. So I would make some subs.
Well, that 4-2-3-1, it doesn't quite... The thing is, he looks like he's playing quite a lot down the wing. And the 4-2-3-1, as you can see, it doesn't have the best of width in this kind of formation. Maybe he needs to think about changing to one that's got a bit more width for the wingers, although they are playing fairly wide as he moves over there.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that he would prefer to play it straight through the middle, as he is right here. That's a fake shot. That was a good attempt right there. I think he wants to play through the middle, but Timox is not allowing him.
Yeah.
He's pushing him out on the wing. And like you said, his formation, Pulse's formation, isn't the best for attacking on the wings.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're seeing a lack of success for Pulse right now.
So would you say maybe go to a 4-3-3, put someone like Aubameyang on the wing, give him some absolutely lightning pace up there, give fresh legs as well?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think changing it to a 4-3-3 would be a good way to do it. Aubameyang obviously is a great sprinter. And here's Ronaldo. Let's see what happens here.
Ronaldo through on goal. He is caught up by a defender trying some skill moves to see if he can make his way through. No, Pulse not going to fall for it again. And he does live to fight another day, moving this one forward. We are going to get a pause here. Maybe some changes coming in for the opponent right now. It's definitely an opportunity in which maybe it's time for Timox to do that. 2 goals up. Could afford to go with some substitution of his own. It looks like he might do that. He's got Varane, Thiago. No, he's not actually going to make a change. Maybe it would have been worthwhile going for a bit more defensive play. Taking Cliver off maybe to get someone who can get back and forth a little bit more.
A lot of space for Messi here. Let's see if he can spin around.
Messi very tired at this point as well. He's got to be careful. I mean, for him, it looks like he could be trying to change someone like Messi or Cliver and getting someone who is going to go a bit more box to box on the pitch to kind of give him that defensive support as well as some attacking umph up front.
Yes, I think, yeah. I'm trying to think what I would do if I was in this position. Obviously, there's not a lot of time left. It's tough, man. This is a competition, and there's a lot of nerves right now. So I think Pulse is doing a good job of trying to get back into the game, but Timox is obviously in the driver's seat right now.
Pulse, he's got 18 minutes left of this FIFA game. And if he can't win this game, it might be a bit of a challenge to beat Kurt after that one. Obviously, the other member of their group. And it is round robin, so everyone's going to play each other.
Dangerous
Here
opportunity.
Pulse with the opportunity, can't make it. Costa on the ball. Can he find someone in the middle? No, the ball goes out for a goal kick. 1 apiece still in this single game, but 3-1 on aggregate. 15 minutes left for Pulse to bring this one back. Timox putting the pressure up still. Not sending too many forwards up towards the defensive line this time. He's happy to just sit back and hold this game out, it looks like. There's no doubt he can do it. It's probably a very popular style that he likes to play. Here goes Pulse with the finesse. Not going to happen. It is saved. And I think we are finally going to see some changes. So Aubameyang is going to come on, as well as Thiago in that defensive midfield spot. Costa moved into the centre. No, he's moved out to the wing. Messi's been brought into the middle. In fact, he's brought out onto the wing.
Yeah, for a second there, it looked like it was going to put Aubameyang out on the wing, which I think would be a good way to go. But he put him back into the center, so we'll see how that plays out.
And I imagine it would have been a worthwhile situation to put his instructions to come back on defense instead of staying forward. That way he can make sure he's got a little bit more cover, especially with someone like Aubameyang who can basically zip up and down the pitch whenever you feel like it. And here comes Pulse. No sloppy pass there, no one to receive it, and it is given away, but has, for his sake, managed to get it back as he looks for one last pass. Pogba on the ball, looking for the overlap. Nope, drags it back in, tries to find Ronaldo in the centre. The loose ball is there. Ronaldo finds it. Costa's on the ball. He whistles past. No, Neuer claims that one, and he's just going to run this time down and see it out. Timox expertly playing that one as Pulse scrambles to try and get something of this. He's got to go all out here. This is a situation where I see a lot of pros stick as many people forward as they possibly can. Maybe it's time for him to do the same. Here comes the ball. Timox on the attack now. It is Douglas Costa charging forward, goes for the fake Rabona, finds his way onto the wing. It's shepherded out by Pulse. It's a corner for Timox.
It's the second time in this game where he's had a huge opportunity to do a flip-flap, but instead he goes for the ball roll, which I think is a mistake. The flip-flap in a situation like that is extremely effective. If you sprint with the defender on your shoulder, do a fake shot to stop the play, and then when the defender changes its momentum to come back at you, you do a flip-flap. Almost every time you get past him. So I'm surprised he hasn't tried that yet because he keeps going for that ball roll.
Here we are. Ball's played out. Doesn't get past the defender, and Pulse manages to get that one. There's not a lot of time for him, and he's really taking this slowly. He's got to get 2 goals if he wants to here. As he moves forward. Pulse plays that forward. Vieira on the ball. 2 minutes of added time. Ball's switched over to Douglas Costa. And no, that's not going to make it. But he has got a free kick, and Ronaldo's on this one. If he could bag this one, he may just be able to make something for him.
See what he does. He's going to fake the first shot. Pass it to that guy. That's what I suggested earlier. Oh, it's a good try.
Vidal tries to go over the seconds. No, Neuer claims that one. Time's just going to be run down now. And then Neuer is going to go out, and that's going to be the game. Timox taking that one, 3-1 on aggregate. Well played to those two. Great display of FIFA there. So, we're going to be going into that, and we've got our first game of the day, of the tournament, should I say, underway. So...
Yes, Timox gets the win, as we expected. We predicted that he'd get the win. Obviously, he was the top qualifier, and he's pretty convincing there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, well, convincing. I would say it was a firm, it was a solid win. It was a firm, solid win. Yeah. But for me, I wouldn't say it was as convincing as I thought it might have been. I thought Timox was going to come out with a bit more fire in his belly from the start, but it looked like PLALC did a really good job in the first half of the first game. He really commanded the game, got his opportunity. It was pretty fair and even. Then all of a sudden, we didn't know if it was maybe legs going a bit or if it was just lack of concentration, maybe a bit of nerves. Could have been all three of those factors. The second half, it just kind of went a little bit up. Some of his defending wasn't as solid. He found some gaps into it. And Timox managed to get his 2-0 lead. And then we came into the second leg, and PLALC had a really fantastic go at it. Got an early goal, really put the pressure on, but just couldn't seem to capitalise on it. And then, unfortunately, found themselves back into the cosh of it and couldn't really get himself back.
I mean, all these guys are an exceptional level of FIFA quality. So those things you mentioned, particularly concentration, is often what it comes down to. You know, on the day, you might be the best qualifier or you might be the best player online. If you don't have a good day mentally, because it's like all sports, tennis, football, whatever, so much of it is in the head. It's the same here. You can be the best player in the world, potentially, but if you can't, you know, thrive in these conditions or even just get yourself motivated on the day, you're going to struggle. Because the person you're playing will be able to punish you.
I think what we saw was, I think Timox showed a consistency throughout both games, and I think PLALC he started out well, but then something happened to him in the second half of both games where it wasn't able to keep up anymore. Whereas Timox was kind of, he felt more calm. It seemed like he was a little bit more calm throughout the games. He kind of, I think he looked at the bigger picture from the moment the game started. He thought of it as, okay, this is 2 legs. I'm just going to take it easy and do what I know how to do. And it's going to get me the win. He was confident in his own abilities, whereas with PLALC, it seemed a little bit like perhaps he knew who he was going up against. So in the beginning, he played very defensively just to make sure that he didn't concede a goal.
Yeah.
And then in the second half of the first game, then he maybe tried to go up because he wanted to get the goal. But as soon as he did that, he conceded one. So in both games, he was strong in the beginning, but kind of tapered off a little bit towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you said there he's quite controlled, and that's a sign of a good player, because you don't let it, get the better of you. You go, I know I'm good enough. I'm going to wait for the right chance. He did take his chances reasonably well, but he created a lot of chances, particularly in that first game. A lot of chances on goal. Next game's going to be a big one. We've got Epsilon Gorilla, huge Gorilla, making his return to play like a legend, Gfinity Arena, the current champion, of course. I was just chatting to him downstairs. I said, do you like your chances? What do you think about this new guy? You know, Timox coming out of nowhere, top qualifier. So I wouldn't say he's a confident guy. Huge Gorilla's a confident guy. He knows he's good enough. He knows he's got it in his locker. But Timox gets the win. So he's going to be very happy. It's all about getting the win, particularly in your first game. Yeah. Because if you lose your first game in a 3-man group, you're in a spot of bother, aren't you? I mean, it's not a good position to be in.
Squeaky bum time.
Squeaky bum time indeed. Guys, if you're watching from home, perhaps you're watching on the Xbox Live event player on your Xbox, and you haven't actually got a copy of FIFA 16, which would be crazy because it's been out for a while now, you can get one. You can actually click on the screen right now without leaving the broadcast. It's very clever technology. So get yourself a copy if you haven't got one already and you want to get involved in this sort of thing. Maybe we could see you at a future event. It's possible. It's possible. We're going to have a quick break now, guys. When we come back, we've got Epsilon Gorilla making his return against Vincente.